help noticing that there were only a few other people around in the station at this late hour. A light rain had begun, wetting the pavement, sending stragglers in for cover. Her bus was idling in its bay, already reloading. But in order to get to it, she first had to get past him. She shrugged, too tired and anxious to deal with this crap. "So if you're hungry, go tell it to McDonald's. I'm late for my bus." "Listen, bitch." He moved so fast, she didn't know what hit her. 1 second he was standing 3 feet away from her. The next, he had his hand around her throat, cutting off her air. He pushed her back into the shadows near the terminal building, back where nobody was going to notice if she got mugged, or worse. His mouth was so close to her face, she could smell his foul breath. She saw his sharp teeth as he curled his lips back and hissed a terrible threat. "Say another word, move another muscle, and you'll be watching me eat your brat's juicy little heart." Her baby was wailing in her arms now, but she didn't say a word. She didn't so much as think about moving. All that mattered was her baby, keeping her safe, and so she didn't dare do a thing, not even when those sharp teeth lunged toward her and bit down hard into her neck. She stood utterly frozen with terror, clutching her baby close while her attacker drew hard at the bleeding gash he'd made in her throat. His fingers elongated where he gripped her head and shoulder, the tips cutting into her like a demon's claws. He grunted and pulled deeper at her with his mouth and sharp teeth. Although her eyes were wide open in horror, her vision was going dark, her thoughts beginning to tumble, splintering into pieces. Everything around her was growing murky. He was killing her. The monster was killing her, and then he would kill her baby, too. "No!" She gulped in air but tasted only blood. "God damn you, no!" With a desperate burst of will, she snapped her head into his, cracking the side of her skull into her attacker's face. When he snarled and reared back in surprise, she tore out of his grasp. She stumbled, nearly falling to her knees before she righted herself. One arm wrapped around her howling child, the other coming up to feel the slick, burning wound at her neck. She edged backward, away from the creature that lifted his head and sneered at her with glowing eyes and blood-stained lips. "Oh, God," she moaned, sick at the sight. She took another step back, pivoted, prepared to bolt, even if it was pointless. And that's when she saw the other one. Fierce amber eyes looked right through her, but the hiss that sounded from between his huge gleaming fangs promised death. She thought he would lace into her and finish what the first one had started, but he didn't. Guttural words were spat between the two of them. Then the newcomer strode past her, a long silver blade in his hand. "Take the child and go." The command seemed to come out of nowhere, cutting through the fog of her mind. It came again, sharper now, spurring her into action. She ran. Blind with panic, her mind numb with fear and confusion, she ran away from the terminal and down a nearby street. Deeper and deeper she fled into the unfamiliar city, into the night. Hysteria clawed at her, making every noise, even the sound of her own running feet, seem monstrous and deadly. And her baby wouldn't stop crying. They were going to be found out if she didn't get the baby to quiet down. She had to put her to bed, nice and warm in her crib. Then her little girl would be happy. Then she'd be safe. Yes, that's what she had to do. Put the baby to bed where the monsters couldn't find her. She was tired herself, but she couldn't rest. Too dangerous. She had to get home before her mom realized she had missed curfew again. She was numb, disoriented, but she had to run. And so she did. She ran until she dropped, exhausted and unable to take another step. When she woke some time later, it was to feel her mind coming unhinged, cracking apart like an eggshell. Sanity was peeling away from her, reality warping into something black and slippery, something that